YouTube, what is going on? Welcome to another great episode. Super excited about this one. One of the top hoopers in Orlando, member of the Squad X. It's definitely worth watching this one. But of course, before we get into it, if you guys can, go ahead and like and subscribe to my channel. Got great videos coming out, and I appreciate your guys' support. Numbers are growing, and super excited about it. So, again, before we jump into the video, let's run the intro and let's get started. Let's get it. YouTube, what is going on? Got a great guest with me. Probably one of the top guards that I've seen play in Orlando area. Romello, how you doing today?
Doing well, man. I appreciate those words for real. I'm doing good, man. Just got back from a
For
game right
sure.
now myself, anyway.
Yeah. I know you a basketball head and basketball is like 24/7 for you,
Yeah,
so for sure. So again, I appreciate you coming on, taking the time out of your busy day, just answering, letting people get to know you and just your history, why basketball and all that. And then a little later on, we'll talk about your new journeys and your awesome new squad that you're playing with now.
perfect. Let's do it.
Let's do it. So first question I have for you is just give a quick introduction about yourself, who you are, name, and just something small about you.
Small. My name's Romello Bates. Fun fact, I was born in Japan, Okinawa, Japan. Um, I lived in different states growing up, from Biloxi, Mississippi. I lived in Oklahoma City. And then I moved here when I was to Orlando when I was in like second grade. So uh, picked up basketball probably, I want to say maybe like kindergarten. My brothers used to play, so
Mhm.
I used to play with them. Then I really started taking it serious in like middle school. So then after that, everything's been history since then.
That's cool. So, do you remember the first time you fell in love with basketball? Can you recall that and share a little bit about that?
Um, I fell in love with it from a young age, to be honest. Even
Mm,
from the times where I was the only good kid on my teams, and I just used to get to score everything, and it was like
mm,
it's funny because I literally used to be the only one that would score the ball, but now I'm like the main distributor, So I just kind of switched my role up.
yeah.
But there's just been different times. I fell in love with basketball so many different times. When I first started playing AAU was kind of when I realized that I wanted to take it like serious because we had
Mm,
played a team called Orlando's Finest, and I was just playing with I was in sixth grade. I was just playing with like a little FBVA team from the middle school coach asked me to play, and then
mm,
he was talking like I used to kill, and then he was started talking so much smack. We played in this tournament, and then we played this AAU team called
mm,
Orlando's Finest, and then they were just full court pressing, doubling me. My team was so bad they killed us, and the coach invited me to a practice over there, and then just playing. Just when I
mm,
started playing with a whole bunch of kids that were just as good as me, or a little bit better, it kind of just it motivated me to try to be as best as I could. So that's really when I started trying to take it serious.
mm. So, when you started taking this serious, did you notice that you had a special gift? Like, I know you said your assists and you trying to get the distributor
Hmm.
because I did a little research on you and I see that in college you was assist man. I tell you
I
that. So
think I was
yeah,
second in the
so
country in assists per game senior year, for
mm,
sure.
yeah, yeah. I see that you set assist record 188.
Yeah,
That's tough.
for
That's
sure. Yeah,
tough.
so I definitely know like making plays for my teammates is just it just comes natural for me. And I
Hmm.
don't really care for scoring too much. Like if I have to, I can, but I'm just the one that I can monitor and say like, all right, this person has to touch the ball in this amount of time, or this person is really good at this spot. So it's like
Hmm.
that's just my gift for it, and then actually and then my defense as well. So I think
Hmm.
those are just things that I bring that the average player doesn't bring because everybody wants to score, nobody wants to play defense. So my efforts is usually on 100% all the time. So I do think that's something that separates me. and why I've never had a problem playing on any team that I've been a part of.
And when did you notice you had that like gift that you can see the floor better than a lot of players can? Because seeing the floor, of course, is not easy,
Yeah.
especially if you can read plays
Uh-huh.
beforehand and before they happen, so you can have that assist.
I would say when I really realized it was probably like maybe like eighth or ninth grade. Before that, I was,
Hmm.
I was good, but everybody tried to do the same thing. I would play point guard, and so just when I
Hmm.
started to play with the older kids, and like people would notice it, like people would pick me up, to run the point guard. And I would
Hmm.
never have. It was never one of those situations where I had to try to fight to be the point guard. Like people just naturally would just give me the ball because they know I would make the
Hmm.
play and stuff. And then when I would go through different injuries, it's like when you sit on the sideline and you watch people play so much, you start to pick up on things, and it's
Hmm.
like nobody really knows how to make play. Like it's not as common as it should be. So
Yeah.
it was definitely
Hmm.
probably like my eighth, ninth grade year when I realized that was what was going to take me to the next level.
Got you. So let's jump into your high school. You played at Colonial, correct?
Yeah, I played at
Colonial
Boone
High
my
School.
freshman year, and then I transferred to Colonial. I played at Colonial my sophomore through my senior year. Well, I didn't play my senior
Got
year because I tore my ACL, but my sophomore and junior year I
got you.
played at Colonial.
So walk us through your whole high school career. How do you think it went? Like, what was the experience for you?
Um, so high school freshman year, I started off on JV. Would kill JV. While I was at Boone. So the whole year, I'm waiting to get moved up. I'm like, I gotta get moved up. I gotta get
Hmm.
moved up. The
Yeah.
assistant coach is talking to me. He's like, yeah, like you're gonna get moved up soon. I mean, we're playing.
Hmm.
JV plays with varsity, and the guards on our varsity team was struggling. So I think I'm getting moved up. So I ended up
Hmm.
playing the whole JV season. And then I ended up getting moved up at the end. So I played like in the district championship. We played Winter
Hmm.
Park actually, so we played Austin, and then I transferred to Colonial. And it was funny because when I transferred to Colonial, it was like one semester left of the year, and then
Okay.
one day everybody starts like texting me from Boone. They're like, "Yo, you're on the cover of the yearbook." So like I was on the cover playing basketball on the cover of the
Uh,
yearbook. I was like the only. It was three people on the cover, and I was the only one. I was the only basketball when I was a freshman. So I know everybody was
hmm.
mad. So I was like, well, at least they saw what was going on. So
Yeah.
sophomore year,
Uh
had
huh.
a solid season. We played. I was with JP, Deontay. Like we were a young team. Our seniors wasn't the best that year, but it was definitely
Hmm.
like a learning curve for us. But
Hmm.
I played varsity. I started like everything was cool. And then our junior year, we had a really good year. So Cloney we had no size at all, so we would just run and gun. But we ended up winning the
Hmm.
district championship. That was the first district championship that ever was won at Colonial. I think they won one this year though,
Oh, that's
so
cool.
the second one. So since
Hmm.
2012, this is the first year. 2023, that another district championship was
That's
won.
tough. Yeah.
Uh, and then yeah, my senior year, I was ready to take that next step. Was fielding a lot of offers, and then I literally tore my ACL the day before our first game of the season. And then
Oh man.
at first I didn't know it was torn, so I tore my ACL and meniscus. I just thought it was like a sprain, so positive mindset. But then when the
Hmm.
MRI came back and said it was torn, it was like that was like crazy. It was like a nightmare.
Yeah.
Like
For
yeah,
real.
so literally missed the whole season. And it's that's just super tough, especially because right now it's different now than it was back then. It's like back then it was like everything was like
Hmm.
everybody's like, damn, your ACL, like recovery was forever. Like not it became more of a
Hmm.
common thing now. But I did it right in that
Yeah.
wave when like D Rose was doing it. It's funny, I tore it wearing D Roses because I played on Dwight Howard's AAU team, so we had everything Adidas.
Okay.
So I
Uh
literally
huh.
tore it in practice wearing D Roses, and I was like, but yeah, it sucked that I missed my senior
You
year.
wasn't the only one thinking that. I saw that a lot of people that were wearing D Roses after he tore his ACL. A lot of people like
Yeah,
shied
yeah, I
away
had to
from
put them
those because
away.
some people were saying it was the shoes and stuff.
Man,
So,
it was tough. I was literally, and that was literally the first time I wore them. Like I was breaking them in that day too.
oh
It was
wow.
wild. Like thinking back on it, it was crazy. It was definitely a crazy time.
So So let's go a little back. You said you transferred from Boone to Colonial. What was that transfer like? Was it an easy transition for you to start at a new school, or did it take adjustment, so, especially joining a new team?
So I was actually zoned for Colonial. So most of my friends and the people I played with at middle school, we had won
Hmm.
championships in middle school. So it's like it was easy to fit in there because everybody wanted me to go there anyway. I just went to a Boone with a
Hmm.
different group, and I was in the magnet program there. Um, so
Hmm.
then when I transferred back to Colonial, it was almost like a welcome home. Like everybody was hyped. So and
Hmm.
originally when I first transferred back to Colonial, I was supposed to go back to Boone the next year, but I never went. I ended up staying. So, but
Gotcha.
it was definitely an easy transition. I feel like if it was vice versa, it would have been a little different. Even though I had friends at Boone as well, which is why I made the decision to go there initially. But it was definitely a smooth
Hmm.
transition.
That's cool. So now you're killing in your junior year, and you're about to start. And you're feeling like you're gonna kill your senior year, and you said you tear your ACL and MCL. So how was the recovery process like, especially knowing that the senior year was supposed to
Yeah.
be like a year that you kill? So what was that like?
So me personally, it was tough to deal with at first.
Hmm.
Like first hearing the news, because like when I first heard the news, like I definitely like broke down. I was like, damn, like I'm thinking it's over. I'm a 17-year-old kid. I'm
Hmm.
like, dang, like my offer, what I'm gonna tell the scouts, like everything like that. It was just like a nightmare. But I mean,
For sure.
especially like even then, like so once I just swallowed what had happened, I'm like, all right, cool. So
Hmm.
it's time to go. So I was just super dedicated to the recovery. I had a really good doctor, Dr. Menser. He was our Orlando Magic doctor, and I did my PT out at RDV. So I would go there.
Hmm.
I would go to RDV 3 days a week. The same day I had surgery, he had me in a machine moving my leg, my knee, like back and forth already. Like I had a whole ice machine.
Okay.
Like he gave me everything. And even the people at the time, other people I knew that went through the surgery, like they didn't have any of that. So it was like I
Hmm.
said, like now it's probably more common, but at the time I was very grateful. I was like, okay, so like we're going in the right direction, and I just kept being motivated to
Hmm.
just play.
You said you had college offers. So did when they found out, did they find out about your injury, and then what was your college experience, recruiting experience like, and how did you end up deciding on where you want to go?
So I had a lot of schools that I was in contact with. They were telling me which days they were gonna like which games they were gonna come to and everything. So it was definitely really tough calls to make because I had to relay the message. Especially once I didn't say anything at first, but once I found out that I actually tore my ACL, it was like all right, like I can't hide it.
Hmm.
So um, they all wanted me that they were all telling me that I should like prep or JUCO, but I was really high academically, and at the time my mom was not.
Hmm.
So she was like, "No, like you're not gonna JUCO, you're not gonna do that." So I was like, "All right," like
Hmm.
kind of just went with the flow with it. So I ended up going
Hmm.
like I was still in contact. So initially I used to like I was only like hell bent on Division 1. So I used to ignore all the Division 2 offers, like all the Division 2
Hmm.
letters and interactions or whatever. So by the time when I saw what was happening, I tried to reach back out to Division 2s. It was like it was too late. They already gave out their scholarship. So,
Yeah. Hmm.
so initially, my first 2 years, I played out of Division 3, Oglethorpe University in Atlanta, and it was between them and another college called Dickinson in Pennsylvania. But I'm
Hmm.
not really interested in being in the cold for that many months. So I went to
Yeah.
Atlanta, and it was nice. I was I didn't know. I didn't know how I was going to be after the injury, especially because at first playing with the knee brace was like super uncomfortable. I'm
Hmm.
playing, my knee brace is falling down. I'm trying to fix it. I'm kneeing people with my
Yeah.
it was like a whole thing. So once I started, once I took it off and started playing, like I started feeling like more like myself again, and that's when I was like really pushed for
Hmm.
the transfer. But I ended up going to Oglethorpe just because it was a really good degree, and
Hmm.
it wasn't always like 100% basketball, basketball, basketball for me. So I did that.
Yeah.
It was a pretty good experience there as well. The, the times that I was there for 2 years. Um, time we had the best record. My sophomore year, we had the best record of history there. We were ranked, and then My freshman year, we had a big class. It was like 9 freshmen came in. Um,
Mm-hmm.
3 of us ended up playing. I got to, fortunately, I got to crack the rotation. I was playing probably like maybe 15 minutes a game at first. By the end of the season, I'm playing like 25, 30. So I
Mm-hmm.
knew the next season would be good. And then I went there my sophomore year, had a really good season, but I let the coach know early that I had planned on retiring, or not retiring, transferring, that I planned on transferring.
Uh-huh.
Just so, just to give him a heads up. I didn't want to bombard him at the end of the season as far as like recruiting and stuff. I wanted to let him know I was leaving, but he begged
Mm-hmm.
me to stay. Like he was trying to convince me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, like there's no chance. But he was like, you could be the best player, play here, yada yada. He just, he tried to sell me the dream, but I already had my
Yeah.
on it. So
Mm-hmm. So you decided to transfer. I know the school you transferred to was Ave Maria
yeah.
University.
Mhm.
So I know you already kind of went through the transfer process when you were in high school, but
Yeah.
obviously in college is a little bit different because you went from Atlanta to Florida,
Yeah.
and the players don't know you, so they're like, "Who's this guy coming in?"
Yeah.
So what was that like? Because I know the experience had to be a big difference.
So when I initially left Oglethorpe, I didn't know where I was gonna go. There was things going on at
Mm-hmm.
home. I just knew I had to come home, figure it out. So I stayed home for a year in between, and then literally so random, like my old high school coach started coaching at university, um, and I used to
Mm-hmm.
just have he used to let me like have like private runs there, and I would just invite people. So then one day, somebody I invited brought someone that played at Ave. So, I'm doing my thing. I
Mm-hmm.
was killing, and then he was asking me about like what school I went to and stuff. And I told him I didn't know yet. So I had a couple of visits set up with like Southeastern, which is also in the same conference as them. So he was like, "No, you got to come." So he connected me with his coach. His coach said he loved my highlight from Oglethorpe, and then I went there for a workout, and then he loved me, offered me on the spot. So then once I went there, he was a new coach there, and the team was terrible the year before. So it's similar. Like we went in there, and it was so. The first year was like so awkward. Like it was heck. It was. He
Yeah.
brought. I want to say he brought like 20, like almost like maybe 15 to 20 new people, right?
Oh wow.
And then, but he didn't cut the people from last year. He just told them like, I'm gonna bring a whole bunch of new people, and it's your decision if you want to stay, and like work for a spot. So it was almost like
Mm-hmm.
when we got there, it was almost like the old team versus the new team, like what I'm saying. So it was like
Yeah,
everything
basically.
was a battle. There was only what 12 to 14 jerseys, so it was
Mm-hmm.
crazy. And then when I first got there, I still had like a little bit of knee problems and stuff. So I was a little worried. I was like, damn, like everybody's still practicing. I'm like, I haven't got to prove myself yet. But as soon as I got in,
Mm-hmm.
it was just natural. We're flowing through. But then unfortunately that season I broke my hand. I broke my hand that season actually in practice.
Mm-hmm.
We had just caught into like a rhythm. We were actually had really good talent. He recruited very well. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then I broke my hand right. I had a near triple double game. I think I was like one rebound off or 2 rebounds off or something like that. And then literally the next day
Mm-hmm.
we were in shoot around and my finger got caught in like my teammate's jersey. We were practicing icing. And it bent all the
Oh
way
wow.
back, my middle finger, and then
Mm-hmm.
it was like shaking, like, and it hurt. Everything hurt on like on impact.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got the X-ray, and then they said it was broken. So and then from there, it was like tough, like the whole thing, because I was the point guard. So I literally watched
Yeah, for
it
sure.
like a repeat of high school. Because my senior year, once I got hurt,
Mm-hmm.
everybody was talking about us going to states, and then once I got hurt, the season like just crumbled. Like we ended up getting like 3 wins, 4 wins. We're just off the district championship. So then it almost
For
felt like a
sure.
repeat of what I already experienced. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
So then, like at first, it was like a bright side. They're like, okay, he's supposed to come back at the end of the season, and then once I went, it was like when I had the surgery. When I had the surgery, my hand had an allergic reaction, so it was lumped like this big.
So you had an infection from the
Yeah,
surgery?
so basically, they put a metal plate in my hand, and
Mm-hmm.
then they usually leave it in, but my I had an allergic reaction to it. So when I went back to get cleared, they said they have to take it out. So they had to cut it open again and take it out, and then I ended up not being able to come back for the rest of the season. So that was definitely a tough time because we were in good shape. Like we were really deep. I mean, we had no option but to be
Hmm.
deep with all those players. So he had to hit some.
Yeah.
It was it was definitely a game changer once I got hurt. So it's like I've lived that experience that multiple times, you know. So and that's
For
also what helped
sure.
me realize like how valued by the value that I bring to teams as well, you know.
Hmm. That's dope. Man, that's crazy. That's especially you have to go through that
Yeah,
twice in high school and then in
yeah,
college. That's
it's definitely.
so yeah. So now you're finishing off your college experience. Did you get any offers, or did you ever want to play overseas?
Um,
And did you ever get a chance to do
I
that?
got offered out of college. I got offered to play in Spain. Um, I wasn't
Hmm.
really thrilled with the amount because I've always been like I want to play, but it's not the end all be all. You know, I know a lot of people that
Hmm.
would just take anything just to go say that you know that they play professional, but that wasn't really my route. My
Hmm.
fresh out of high school or out of college, my best friend had a tax company, and he's like, bruh, I'm not saying it's not gonna work, but while you figure that out, I got something for you. And, you know, he had been telling me that, you know, a
Hmm.
couple years. So I kind of did that. I was like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You know, I was working to try to get you know better offers. You know, trying to fill out agents and whatnot. But
Hmm.
by the time the next year rolled around, I actually like made some money, and it you know my
Yeah.
second year. So I was like, you know, at this point, and then I still got another offer. It was. I can't think of it. But at that point, it was to me, it's almost like it has to be worth more than what I'm making now. You know,
For sure. Yeah.
because
Hmm.
now I'm seeing the light. You know, I never had to work when I was in school. You know, they took
Hmm.
care of us. You know, I might have did like some little work study, but it was nothing crazy. But now that I'm seeing like cash flow come in, I'm like I'm not just leaving to leave. You know, then I started playing
For
money
sure.
tournaments. You know, people would start flying us to you know Puerto Rico to play or you know DR or you know whatever ones are here.
Hmm.
So it's almost like I could still work 4 months out of the first 4 months of the year and then play straight money
Hmm.
tournaments the rest of the year. And like I still get my fix on basketball. Like I still get to hoop. I still get to, I
Yeah.
still work out for something. So it's like I just wasn't a fan of leaving every year for 8 months and then coming back and then trying to pick
Hmm.
up and then when if your career doesn't go the way it wants or whenever it ends, it's almost like you just start back over because you
For
don't know what
sure.
you're doing if you weren't set up properly. So it was like I just had to
Hmm.
make like realistic life choices in a sense.
Hmm.
I feel like a
Yeah.
lot of people cross that barrier too late and they don't really understand like or know you know what it is. They're just so hell bent on I've put all this time like I have to play professional. I have to go do this. I have to go do this,
Hmm.
and they end up in bad situations. And you know I never wanted to be a part of that. You know, so but if the
Yeah.
offer was right coming out, I 100% would have went. I'm not trying to make it seem like I didn't want to. For 100%,
Yeah. For sure.
definitely play. You know, but the numbers just didn't make sense to me.
For
Yeah,
sure. And that's good. That's good that you had that right mindset. Like how you were saying, there are people out there that just want to play overseas. It doesn't matter what they're getting paid and all that. And then you fast forward to now where they're at and they're working at some place just trying to make it
yeah, exactly.
instead of how you did. You already thought about your future and where you wanted to be.
Yeah,
And now you're still playing basketball at a high level, but also you're living uh, a life,
exactly,
a good life.
exactly. And I know a lot of people like that, so it's like having that insight on it beforehand, and even through it, it was like, all right, like I can live with my decision for sure. You know, especially because
For
every
sure.
year it just gets, it just gets better and better. So it's like, yeah, I can definitely live with my decision with that. Now, I still say,
Hmm.
like, even right now, like, I still have someone trying to get me to work out for a scout. Like, literally right now, it's been hitting me up all week. Taking the scouts
Hmm.
from Venezuela, Colombia, and it's just like I do get tempted, like I want to, but it's still like, unfortunately, tax season's in the middle of every basketball season, unless it's a summer league, and
For sure.
it's like
Yeah. Mhm.
I just that's my bread and butter. Like I know I can make this amount of money. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's hard to walk
Hmm.
away from that just to go hoop. But it is hard to say no
Yeah.
to it every time though as well. You know, so
Yeah. I bet
it's,
because there's still that chance that you get to play.
yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it is. It's just it's enough. I train like I train kids, I train adults. In the summertime when
Mm-hmm.
all everybody comes home, I still get to play with them. I still get to compete in leagues with them. So it's like right now, and then that's why when we started the whole Squad X thing, that's still it's still a avenue that I can be relevant while still playing basketball.
For
So
sure.
I definitely
For
I definitely
sure.
do like that.
So before we get into your Squad X, because I am intrigued on how you guys started and all that, where the idea came
Yeah.
from. How is it playing in these leagues and the money tournaments? I know you participate in the Pro Am that goes
Mhm.
on in Orlando. How's that like? And how does it feel that you're still playing at a high level in those money type of
I mean, it's
tournaments?
definitely a good feeling. You like it because you get to see where you're at. You know, Same thing
Mm-hmm.
with them, and then it's kind of it's not that you look for it, but it's reassuring to have the respect of people that are playing at other high levels and that
Mm-hmm.
leave over summer. And just for instance, like I'm playing my money tournament team this year is full of top level people from different leagues, and it's like they're still
Yeah.
asking me to come play with them, so it's like I'm
Mm-hmm.
here, but all that kind of just reassures me. It's like, yeah, like I know that I'm good enough to play, so that's not the validation that I personally have to seek. I just live them out.
For sure.
But it definitely is good. I do look forward to the summers just for that main reason because you always want to play the best competition and see where you're at because that's only going to make your game better as well.
For sure. So I know, like I said, you play in the Ace League.
Hmm.
How's that like? I know I've been to a couple games last season when it was going on. I know the competition is there. I know you guys get sprinkled in sometimes with NBA top talents. So what is like to play in the pro am, especially when you're going up against NBA type caliber players?
Um, it definitely got better every league. My team, we won the first league that they had, um, first
Mm-hmm.
season, and then Pedro won. I want to say I don't know if it was two or three times in a row. They beat us in the championship one. Uh, the other year they beat us in the semifinals off of some controversy. Actually, Anthony Simons was playing with them in that game too. I think they beat us by a buzzer beater.
Uh,
Raw hit a buzzer beater three. He'll love that I said that
mm.
here. Just every year it grows, so it's always interesting to see like what's gonna happen, like who's gonna pop in, who you'll play again. And like I
Mm-hmm.
said, it's like now that it's more of a known thing, it's like you're gonna be able to get a good game when you go. And, that's the most important thing because when
For
you are
sure.
better, you don't want to waste your time showing up to the gym and it's like, oh, this is like whatever. Now you're just trying to motivate yourself just to play, and it's like you don't got to be
Mm-hmm.
motivated to play when you go there. It's like you're gonna play or you're gonna get embarrassed, and everybody's gonna see
For
it,
sure.
and the whole hoop scene's gonna see it, so everybody's gonna know. So
Mm,
it's like,
for
and it's
sure.
like if you want to prove yourself, like if that's what you're coming there to do, like you have the platform for it. So it's like it's just it's up to you to deliver on it.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. I like I said, I've been to the Ace League and it's real good competition. And you got pro players from all over the world playing there, and then you got NBA players sprinkling in all the time. So it's a cool thing that the Ace League got going on in Orlando. So huge shout out to the Ace League for
For sure.
sure.
It actually
So
starts.
let's now. Oh, it starts
Yeah.
tomorrow. Oh, nice. You gonna be playing in it this time? This year again?
Yeah, we play at 2:30 tomorrow. I'm gonna be traveling all. I'm gonna be gone every weekend in July, so I'm gonna miss them. So I'm gonna try to go to the June games. But yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
definitely yeah. It starts tomorrow, and it should be good. It's always exciting to see like who comes in, and what everybody has. So the first time, and they
Yeah.
actually moved it to the Smith Center this year.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice. It's not at that school
it's
anymore.
not at the Ace academic school anymore. I think I forgot what days it was on last year, but they also and then obviously now they're on Sundays too. So he switched the whole dynamic of it. So we'll see how it goes.
That's nice. So now let's jump into your Squad X. How did that come about? When did you guys? Because I seen the Hoopers on YouTube and the teams they come up with, from the Hooligans to Team Frigga to you name
Yeah.
it. So how do you guys did you guys come up with it together, or was it one person as like, yo, this is a cool idea, let's get all the hoopers together? So how did Squad X come about?
So the person that had the idea actually doesn't play. It's Tay. I don't know if you know Tay.
Hmm.
You know Tay?
Yeah, I
Metaverse,
do.
yeah. So it was actually his idea. He
Hmm.
came to me. He asked me what I thought about it. He told me the players he wanted. And I told him I was down. And he basically told me that he talked to myself and Meech. And then he was like, if either one of us said no, that he wasn't going to do it. Basically, that's what he said.
Hmm.
Us
Hmm.
two. So once he put the idea on the floor, it's like, all right, well, let's do it. So we kind of just started to
Hmm.
move forward with it a little bit. I told him I wouldn't be able to be 100% in it at the moment because it was in the middle of tax season, realistically. So I was very busy. But as soon as we started, like, I don't even know if we had a. Now we probably had. I think we had a takeover. But as soon as we posted it, Balls Life East Coast hit us up like ASAP. It was like, okay,
Oh
well,
yeah. Oh, that's
we didn't
cool.
think that was gonna go that quick, but
Uh huh.
went out, we played them, and then from there, we've been getting like nonstop love. We collabed with Slim.
Hmm.
Uh, we did the thing with Slim. Hopefully, we got something working in the works with Friga, and just me going to the West Coast, out there with Brandon, he goes by Body Bag now. Just seeing everything at as high of a level that they're on, it's like, all right, like I see the vision. I'm just taking mental notes. Like this is what we need to do. This is how we need to carry ourselves. This is how we need to promote this and this and
Hmm.
this. So it's like we're only starting, and we're getting good enough support. We're almost monetized on YouTube now. And like I
Oh,
said,
nice.
it really hasn't been that long, so don't really have any complaints about it, and hopefully we just keep growing, as far as individually and as a team, because like I said, the YouTube scene is like we just wanted to kind of have a platform to just be like, we'll play anybody, what I'm saying, like we don't really care
Hmm.
how big your name is, what it is. We're gonna play basketball, and then at first it was like we had to adjust from because we all hoop, so it's like we had to adjust from just playing basketball to being like um more show. We have to show out more. Being more for the camera a little
Yeah.
bit more entertainment. So
Hmm.
it's like there was definitely like, and we're still working on it. We definitely got it much better. We definitely got much better at it, but it was definitely an adjustment that we had to make. Just for the
Does it make you feel weird that you had to wear a mic when you had to play?
it was a little weird. It was weird at first because sometimes the thing falls out and you got to stop and fix it.
Yeah.
But like I said, you definitely get used to it. It's just weird at first because just like anything, like when you first started, it's like, all right, I'm not used to this. But once you get used to it, it's like,
Hmm.
all right, like, this isn't that bad, and we just like it. I'll be in random places with people. They're like, oh, you play for Squad? I have my Squad X shirt. Like, oh my god, you play for Squad X? Like, when's your next event? And it's like, damn, I don't even know you. It's, so
For
it's like,
real.
and even just with something like that, it's like the fact that, like I said, it's grown so quickly. It's like you really can't
Hmm.
complain about what's happening right now. So hopefully we just keep on tracking in the right direction.
That's tough. That's cool. Yeah, and I can definitely tell you guys are growing, and like I, to be honest, the reason I found out about you guys popped up on my YouTube mention, and I was like, yo, I know half of these guys.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's definitely cool seeing, especially when you pop up on a YouTube search engine and
Yeah,
stuff like that without somebody actually looking for you.
exactly.
So you guys are doing the right thing to be in their algorithm because YouTube is weird.
Exactly, I know. So
Sometimes.
it's also just comes into play of like trying to figure all that out too. It's like, all right, this works, this works. You gotta do this. This is how you get on this platform. This is how. So it's like, it's deeper than just hooping. At first people think it's just hooping, recording, it, and
Hmm.
putting out. Like it's not that.
Exactly.
Like I
Hmm.
said, we're still all working with that and figuring it out. So like I said, as long as we keep pushing in the right direction, I don't see why we wouldn't blow up. But you know, it's part of
For
that learning
sure.
curve.
So I got a real hard question to ask you. I've seen some of the videos. Who do you think is the best 3 point shooter on your team?
Best 3-point shooter on my team,
Yeah, because I know what's his name, Josh.
Josh. Yeah,
Josh.
Billy.
I know him and
Like,
the other guy. I can't. He's yeah. They go back and forth
yeah,
to who's saying who's the best. And I recently watched one of your guys' video when you I guess you guys were playing at a LA Fitness or something, and they were talking crap to each other because they were hitting
Yeah,
threes, and I thought it was the most funniest thing in the world. But in my opinion, in my from your point of view, since you are the point guard, you do all the
yeah.
passing. Who do you think is when you pass it to that person, you're like, oh, I know it's going in.
I think I'll say I think that with both of them. To be fair, at times
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Dyke is more consistent, but when Josh gets hot, it's like over with. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause he can shoot it. I feel like he can shoot it from further. Like he shoots it from
Mm-hmm.
further. He gets us off the dribble. But Dykes is right there. Like it's not an easy thing, but I'll say Josh is a better shooter. Now, just being around the team in general and off history, I'll say Meach. Like
Uh
I'm
huh.
going with Meach all day. Like I've been playing with
Beach.
him for a minute, but he's not labeled as a shooter, but
Mm-hmm.
he can definitely fill it up for
That's dope.
sure. But between the two, I'll just say as a shooter, I'll probably if they're both open, I'll throw it to Josh.
So,
Yeah, Dykes
that's
might be
cool.
tight, but
But yeah, it's fine. So I know you guys have a lot of great talent on your team and all that. And where do you want to see Squad X take this YouTube stuff, and where do you see the end goal for Squad
um,
X?
so right now we're just talking about it. We have to work on building our name individually as well. So it's not just Squad S. It's not just linked to there because at the end of the day,
Mm-hmm.
we want to be able to just go anywhere. Just be an entertainer. Just be a YouTube person. I could pop out and like I said, me seeing where Baller's life is right now on the West
Mm-hmm.
Coast when I was there, it's like it's wild. It just makes you think on a different platform. So it's like that's the standard. You feel me?
Yeah.
So obviously, we're working toward that. So that would be great when it does
Mm-hmm.
happen. But like I said, that's the bigger picture. We just got to take the right steps to get there. But definitely, what Ball's life is the goal. You know,
Yeah.
the merchandise platform. People having their own individual things. Even just now, I don't know if you saw Frank Nitti just dropped a shoe with Jordan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Uh
you
huh.
feel
I
me?
saw
So it's
that.
like, who thinks
Mm-hmm.
that that's gonna happen from coming from like just hooping on YouTube? You feel me?
Exactly.
So it's like it's crazy. They're opening doors. So it would be wrong for me to say that they weren't the standard of that.
For sure. That's dope. So I have last question for you. The guest that I be bringing on the show, I like to ask them because one thing I bring to this show is bringing knowledge and experience and stuff like that. And there's a lot of people maybe that want to pick your brain, but don't have the chance to reach out to you or know you like on a personal level to be able to do that.
Mhm.
So, what is one thing you would say to them, or somebody that wants to follow in your footsteps, or something knowledgeable that you would share with people?
Um, just don't be afraid to be different. You know, you gotta create your own lane, and
Mm-hmm.
everybody doesn't have to agree with it. Everybody doesn't have to be going there with you. Just know, like, once you go and you're going this way, you'll meet the people, and the people that you're with, the right ones will follow you. You don't have to force anything. Um, and that's just I always just try to look at the bright side of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Especially me. I've torn my ACL, I've torn my meniscus twice, I had ankle surgery, I had hand surgery. So it's almost like you always just got to be willing to just push through it. Don't sit on the negative. And that's really helped me a lot. And just me personally, as a person, I'm just respectful in general to everybody. You never know what's going to help. You never know who's going to be there. Actually, the person that started first bringing me to the money tournaments and put me in the Ace League and everything like that is just some random person I know at LA Fitness. Like I'll just see him
Mm-hmm.
every now and then. Other people would like try him and be mean or whatever, but like I'm just just like a respectful person to
Yeah.
me. I played in a couple leagues with him, and then he wanted to invest some money to go here and then do this and do this. And it was like that literally started from absolutely nothing. Like, so that's why I'm always like, you never
Mm-hmm.
know who somebody is. You never know how somebody can help you. So I always just try to carry myself in a certain way that could bring value. I always try to show my value to people, whether it's playing basketball or
Mm-hmm.
just in life or just being respectful, being a helping ear, whatever it needs to be. That's just how I try to carry myself.
For sure. That's awesome. So this is last question I have you. I like to ask this to some of the guests. If you could see anybody on this show, me interview, doesn't have to be somebody famous, somebody that you know and would like for me to pick their brains and bring on here. Who would you like to see me interview? But before you answer, you got to try to help me get this person on this
I
show.
was gonna ask, do you have like a target audience? Are you broad? Like what?
And as long as you play sports and you're passionate and you're good at it, and people will listen to you speak, I'm more than happy to have you on the show.
I would say I'm stuck between two people. Either
Mm-hmm.
either Meech or Keith,
Meet your key
because
for
Meech
sure.
has his own lane as far as just what he created and what he brings to that
Mm-hmm.
whole Metalwoods area. It's like with the Rise League and Rise Up and his Rise training, it's like you can't go anywhere with Meech and Metalwoods without a kid coming up to him, like literally. So it's like I tell him that, like, and he thinks I'm joking at
Mm-hmm.
times because this is the way I say it, but I'm like, bro, it's really like
Yeah.
crazy to see, like, what you did. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Mm-hmm.
definitely another level of it. Not just, I think that's amazing. So it's definitely cool for him because it's also now he's into his Rise Media thing and like he's kind of just branched stuff out into different platforms, and I just feel like picking his brain for things like that would definitely be a good look. Matter of fact, yeah, bring
For
Meech. Let's
sure.
get Meech on here. I got you.
Meet
Yeah.
for sure. That'd be dope to have him. I know who he is. I mean, I met him a couple times. I know I when I do my some used to do my photography stuff. I took some dope photos of
Yeah.
him, especially when they had that tournament in Kissimmee,
Hmm.
the Christian
Yeah.
tournament, and I got a picture of him like going up for a dunk, and it shows him from the
Yeah. I think I
background.
know. I think I know. I think
Yeah,
I know what
so
you're talking about. Yeah.
So I took that one and I showed it to him, and then like that's how we started talking a little bit. But for sure, I would love to have him here because how you say with the Rise League and everything he's doing
Yeah.
in the Meadow Woods area
Hmm.
is definitely awesome. Especially I see if anybody's helping kids grow and become better
Hmm.
people, is always somebody positive
Yeah.
in the world.
Exactly. Yeah. And
So
everything he does is with good intentions. So I definitely would say that it won't be hard to get him on. I got you. Just let me know when. And I'd love for him to
appreciate
come
that.
tell everybody that I'm his favorite passer. So his favorite passer to play with.
Hey man, yeah, that's true. You not only assist with the basketball, now you assisting me to having another
I
great
know.
guest on here. So for sure,
Natural point.
for sure. So again, Melo, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day, joining me on here, answering some questions, letting people get to know you. So again, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on, man. Anytime.
I appreciate it. Cool. So again, everybody, thank you for watching. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to get to know Mello. So if you guys can go ahead and like and subscribe to this channel. Channel is growing, got awesome more guests coming along. So again, I appreciate it and I'll catch you guys on the next episode. Peace out.